totally revolutionized dairy farming. IKS Milk gives us the tools to provide high quality standard of milk, making sure our equipment is all well taken care of, make sure that those animals are housed and cared for appropriately. They continue to push us with their standards to make sure that it just gets better and better.
Welcome back into the Moose Jaw Event Center as we are wrapping up the Warriors' 6-3 loss to the Swift Current Broncos here tonight. Warriors press in the third period, throwing 17 shots on the Broncos' net, but they can't beat Joey Rocha, and they fall 6-3 here tonight. We have plenty to go over here on the post-game show. I'm Marc Smith, and this is the IKS Media Warriors live post-game show. We'll get to the game scoring summary in just a bit. We'll also hear from Warriors head coach Mark O'Leary in a little bit, and also get your Connexus save of the night. And the 3 stars of the hockey game. We'll also finish up your out-of-town scoreboard. But we'll start with the game scoring summary and a 6-3 loss for the Moose Jaw Warriors to the Swift Current Broncos. The goals come in bunches for Swift Current, 3 in the first period, 2 in the second, then 1 in the third, but 3 back-to-back goals each time for Swift Current. Let's start. Martin Rysavy. He gets his 6th of the season on the power play at 9:28. That opened the scoring, but the Broncos battle back with 3 goals in the succession. Brady Burney, 8th of the season on the power play. Then Josh Philman gets his 8th of the season at 16:59. That's followed by Clark Caswell just over a minute later for his 9th of the season, making it 3-1 for the Swift Current Broncos. Atlee Calvert gets one late in the first period with 1 minute to go in that opening frame. His 11th of the season, making it 3-2 through 20 minutes of play. Then Atlee Calvert, 3 minutes into the second period, gets his 12th of the season on the power play, making it a 3-3 hockey game. Warriors with some momentum early in that second period, but the Broncos less than a minute later, Luke Misselbacher, his 3rd of the season, puts the Broncos back in front, and that's how they would stay. Ryan McCleary gets his 4th of the season at 12:44 in the second to make it 5-3, and then Josh Philman in the final minute of the game puts one into the empty net for his 2nd of the night, 9th of the season, and makes it a 6-3 victory for the Swift Current Broncos. The Broncos had 39 shots going into the third period. Warriors closed the gap on the shot clock, put 17 on net in that third, outshooting the Broncos 17-9. But the Broncos do outshoot Moose Jaw 48-44 here on the night and take the victory. Joey Rocha, stellar in between the pipes for the Broncos. Warriors going 2 for 4 on the power play, while Swift Current was 1 for 2 on the night with the man advantage. So special teams play a big part in this game. Warriors got a power play in that third period that they couldn't capitalize on, and that was the difference maker. Warriors, lots of pressure in that third period, especially late, looking for a goal to pull within 1. Couldn't find it. Broncos go back the other way and pick up the victory with the empty net goal. So the Broncos come into Moose Jaw and open the weekend with a 6-3 win here against the Warriors. It was a big night for goaltender Joey Rocha, and he is one of your 3 stars of the hockey game. Let's take a look at tonight's 3 stars. Rocha was the 3rd star, making 41 saves in the winning effort. Jackson Unger should not be remiss, did make 44 saves, I believe, 41 saves in between the pipes for the Moose Jaw Warriors. He also sharp on the night, but Roca made some really big stops when he needed to keep the Broncos in front. He is your third star, making 41 saves. Atlee Calvert is your second star, 2 goals on the night. His line generated a lot for the Warriors throughout the night, but he ends up with 2 goals, and he is your second star. Luke Misselbacher, a goal and 3 points in the game. He was the driver offensively for Swift Current. He is your first star of the night here tonight for the Broncos, with a goal and 3 points here in this one. All right, let's take a look at the Connexus save of the night. It came back in the first period, and it wasn't a goaltender. It was a defenseman making the stop. Here is the Connexus save of the night.
Caswell skating, looks to go cross ice. Unger a little bit out of position. Where's the puck? Is it underneath Lucas Brenton? It could be. No, Jackson Unger sprawling to make that save.
I think it was Brenton who made the initial save, though. He was down, got the leg out, it looks like it, and then Jackson Unger comes across to cover it up.
Did Lucas Brenton make that right leg save as you described? Here's the over-the-top view. Brenton reaching, he did.
With Jackson Unger sprawling to try to make the save, it was Lucas Brenton getting the leg down and stopping a potential goal for the Swift Current Broncos. Big stop there from the big Warriors defenseman making that save, and that was a big one early in this game. Didn't end up being the difference maker, but it was a big save there for Lucas Brenton, and that is your Connexus save of the night. We will take a quick break and hopefully catch up with Warriors head coach Mark O'Leary when we come back next on IKS Media Warriors Live.
Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more and more and more and more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more and more and more and more. Hit the road, Sask, and always come back to see more. And more and more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more and more and more.
Welcome back into the Moose Jaw Event Centers. We're going through the 6-3 loss for the Moose Jaw Warriors to the Swift Current Broncos here tonight. Hopefully catching up with Warriors head coach Mark O'Leary down in the Warriors locker room in just a bit. But right now, let's take a look at the Sask Lottery's out-of-town scoreboard. And we'll start in the Western Hockey League, where this was one of 9 games in total around the WHL. 1 game in the books early on in the day. The Saskatoon Blades skating to a 3-1 win over the Seattle Thunderbirds. Saskatoon picking up that win and also picking up a big player in a trade with getting Fraser Minton from the Kamloops Blazers, the Leafs prospect, heading to Saskatoon for a couple of first-round picks, a fourth-round pick, as well as Keller in that deal for Fraser Minton. So that's a big pickup, a big splash for the Saskatoon Blades. Other action around the WHL here tonight. The Brandon Wheat Kings and Red Deer Rebels are scoreless after 2. Regina up 2-0 on Edmonton, that game after 2. The Kamloops Blazers and Vancouver Giants. Kamloops has a 2-1 lead on, Vancouver has a 2-1 lead on Kamloops late in the first period. And moving over into the Western Conference, Victoria and Tri-City tied at 1 midway through the first. Wenatchee up 3-1 on Spokane late in the first period. Lethbridge has a 2-1 lead on Prince George. That game late in the first period. And Portland up 1-0 on Everett. That game also late in the first period. It's actually 2-0 now for Portland in that one. But let's head down to the Warriors locker room, where I'm being joined now by head coach Marc O'Leary after tonight's game. And coach, this was a game where Swift Current capitalized on some chances early, but your team had a ton of chances late to try to get this game evened up. Was this just a case of generating chances and looks, but running into a goaltender who was playing pretty well here tonight?
Well, I think it was a night where we didn't check. I think we generated more than enough opportunities to win the game, even in the first period and the second period. But we didn't. We weren't all in terms of our play without the puck. I thought there was a lot of times tonight where, whether it was a one-on-one puck battle or a battle for space in the net front, we were second in those areas. So, we weren't willing to go all in and checking tonight, and we gave up far too much.
I was going to ask you, Swift Current was able to generate a lot in the home plate area in front of the net tonight. That's usually an area of strength for the Warriors. What allowed them to get in there here against the team tonight?
Yeah, I agree. It was an issue all night. Number one, it was the urgency and to win those races back inside. I thought we were slow to come back in, whether it was our wingers on the wall to get back inside, or even just tracking back through the rush. It's those last extra 3 strides to get there, to get to the spot and compete for space. I just thought we were slow in that area, as well as our defense. I just thought we were slow to get back inside and help Jackson out, and we gave up far too much from a dangerous area.
What's the message to the team as you now look to rebound heading up to Prince Albert tomorrow night?
Well, that checking is half the game. We saw tonight, we have all kinds of skill. That's not an issue. We can generate offense, we can generate goals, but if you want to win in this league and you want to win, consistently, whether it's at home or on the road, you have to be willing to check. And tonight we weren't willing to do that. And tomorrow, if we have the same mindset, it'll be the same result.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me, Coach, and good luck up in Prince Albert tomorrow night.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks to Warriors head coach Marc O'Leary for joining us here on the postgame show. Let's finish up the out-of-town scoreboard with the NHL scores. 15 games in total around the NHL today, as is a busy day on Black Friday down in the NHL. Chicago Blackhawks score a 4-3 overtime win over Toronto. Edmonton knocking off Washington 5-0. Montreal picks up a 3-2 shootout win over the San Jose Sharks. The Islanders take out the Ottawa Senators 5-3. Jets up 3-0 on the Florida Panthers. That game late in the third period of play. The Calgary Flames are also up 5-4 on the Dallas Stars. That game late in the third period in that one. And the Vancouver Canucks have a 1-0 lead early on the Seattle Kraken. That game midway through the first period there in in Seattle, I should say. So that does it for the out-of-town scoreboard. You can get recaps on all that at WHL.ca and NHL.com. We'll also have a recap, highlights, and post-game interviews from tonight's game available at MJWarriors.com. The Warriors head up to Prince Albert tomorrow for a battle with the Raiders. It'll be a very key game. Raiders off tonight, so they will be well-rested going into that game against the Warriors. Moose Jaw will be back on home ice for a rematch with these Broncos coming up on Tuesday. We'll have all that action for you here on IKS Media Warriors Live. But thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Warriors falling 6-3 to the Broncos on IKS Media Warriors Live.